Hi, this is Craig Metrowich for VideoCelebrityNews.com, and today we are in the beautiful spot of Cape Town, South Africa. And earlier on we did a live intro interview, and you can go and look at that at facebook.com/Metrowich. Got sitting next to me is the wonderful high energy dance professional. Well, I think you're pro now because some of the moves that you can do that I've seen, and you can go and look at her stuff as well on Facebook. It's pretty phenomenal. You've got good rhythm, but in this, you've got good rhythm. It's Monique Ford is the lady sitting next to me. Part of our intro, I've known Unique Monique. You remember that?
Yeah.
Unique Monique. For quite a few years. We used to work together at MTN. I was the sales manager. She was a superstar on the team. And over the years, we've kept contact. And in this part of the HD Uncut Extended interview, we're going to share more details around the journey that she embarked on and how dance has changed your life and how you're energized and inspired to make a difference in others. So Monique, let's set the tone. Ballet, you being a ballet dancer and now a wild dancer. It's about right, eh? Wild dancer.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about the ballet the start of your journey into dance and energy. So how did it start?
I think ballet was really awesome at the time. Started at the age of 6. Taught you about discipline, and that with hard work, anything is achievable.
So was it raw talent or hard work? Because some people have got just their talent. They've got a natural gift to just be able to do it. Was yours, did you have to work harder?
I think that you can have natural talent, but your talent will only evolve if you work hard.
Okay. So you've got the basic raw, let's go singing. So in other words, you can sing, but you would get a singing coach, a vocal coach to take it to the next
level.
Okay, that makes
but
sense.
I can't sing anymore, but I can rap.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. In actual fact, then you find the appropriate genre that allows you to be able to still shine.
Exactly.
I get it.
So that's important.
Talk about dance styles. What type of styles are there? Remember, I don't know too much about dance per se. Craig, there are like 20 different styles. There's whatever you like to do. Are there any official styles of dance?
I think when you're a Zumba instructor, what I love about the concept of Zumba is that it encompasses Latin flavors. So you've got a little bit of salsa. You've got something called cumbia.
Okay, it sounds good.
It is, it's good. There's a little bit of a Brazilian aspect to it. You've got some reggaeton. You've got a little bit of hip hop. So even some African genre.
Yeah.
So you can basically play around with everything.
So it's not a formal structure. So what's so cool about it is, if I like a specific style, I'm going to shine better in that than just being like forced to, okay, this is the style that we do.
Yeah, I think there's enough songs. On average, an instructor will do between 10 and nearly 14 songs in a class.
Okay.
It's different styles, but this is all about you. So what suits you? Sometimes you've got a certain style and a certain flavor. You can bring that out. You don't have to do it the way I do it. You don't have to do it the way the instructor does it, but it's just about experimenting and actually just taking a step into the unknown. For once, think of yourself as a sex goddess, shaking your hips.
What do you mean for once?
Like,
you worried you.
Just going a bit
once.
wild. And I think just today we are just so conservative. We're so caught up in stress.
Yeah.
We're bound by rules.
Yeah.
And even if you relate it back to work, timelines, targets,
processes, methodologies, best practices. Yeah.
And I think my thing is about, I feel like I want to break the rules, and it's my opportunity to be naughty.
Yeah.
And go wild, and it's lovely because you only learn when you're uncomfortable. You don't learn when you're comfortable.
And with music as well, it is in total about interpretation. That's what I love about music, because rock music's going to bring out a different energy, classical different energy, and there's a time and a place for all of that. Because, for example, let's say on a Friday afternoon you had a hectic week, you listen to some nice chill out music, all of a sudden it prepares you for the weekend. You get home, somebody invites you to a party, guess what, you want a different rhythm, different beat. But the interesting thing about all of it is there's certainly direct benefits. Okay, so let's talk about that. What are some of the direct health benefits around using dance? Because my audience is a business audience. They're kind of like going, okay, so what is this about? How does it benefit business people? What's the benefits?
Well, number one, it allows you to think on your feet. in business, that's something you got to do. You got to make decisions on the fly. You got to
Correct.
think on your feet. Same in dance. You actually literally got to think on your feet. You don't know what's coming. Prepares you for the unknown. Sometimes you're thrown a curveball at the office.
Helps with stress management as far
Helps
as
with your stress management. Increases your oxygen. Releases negativity. Good heart rate because you actually sweat. So you can get an awesome workout in the process.
And for a guy like me, the views must be amazing. I mean, we
For
get all
you,
shapes and sizes.
Absolutely. Even for me, the views
all
are
shapes and
amazing.
sizes, the views are amazing. That's de-stressful, without
That's
a doubt.
very de-stressful. An opportunity maybe for you to network.
Correct, yeah, on
You
a
never
different
know
level.
who you could
Never
meet
know.
at in the class.
What about brain? Because with my research, what I also picked up is there's now definite scientific evidence around the fact that dance, the exercise of dance, is very good from a brain power point of view. What have you seen? People like, for example, they say the kids that dance, maths-wise, they've done research now that proves that their maths would improve if they did some dance.
So I'm glad you asked that, because once I got so fascinated into the element of dance, I just recently studied and I did the neuro leadership, and I really started to study the brain and the benefits of the brain. Well, why do we do the things that we do? But one of the interesting things about our brain is that it cannot distinguish between a positive and a negative thought. So whatever you sow it will grow. So with dance or any type of fitness activity, you're releasing good endorphins, right?
Yes, correct.
And I don't know about anybody else, but I know that after my class, no matter what or how tough it is, I just have energy. I want to do things. I will come home and I will go do some work because I've got enough energy. It releases that good endorphins. You feel happy about yourself. And the chemicals in the brain, the balance there, your serotonin levels, dopamine levels, all of those things just helps you create a balance, because
So that neural activity, I can get it. The the synapses, the neurons, the firing of those
firing
neurons.
up.
Yeah, correct. I mean, so let's just stand up. I want to share with the audience this phenomenal, spectacular, beautiful view we've got here, which is not us, by the way. Okay, let's just do a little turn around. I've got you. Okay, which is also relevant to the whole idea of energy and how energy makes a huge difference. How beautiful. This is in Blouberg, Cape Town, South Africa, for our international views. It is a stunning setting. All right, let's just turn and get Table Mountain in the background, because I know a lot of our viewers will want to see that. I'm going to go a little bit slower. There we go. Let's lift it up. I mean, how beautiful is this, Monique? Aren't we spoiled? Eh?
we live in one
What
of
a
the
day!
most
What a
beautiful
day! We
countries
really
in the world.
do. It is, and look, there's politics, but like every country, you have your pros, you have your challenges. But Mother Nature in Cape Town is absolutely spectacular. I mean, I think it brags here. If you really want to see paradise, a beautiful place, long, spectacular beaches. If you want to energize yourself, come and dance at sunset here with Monique in Cape Town, South Africa. Let's do another little turn around. Okay, let's go seat it again. So yeah, I definitely get it with, the whole thing about our brain power, the seriousness about the fact that science now has proven that, the whole dancing side of it is very good for you health-wise. I want you to share with us a story about the fact that you've also had some personal health challenges. Because if I met a person like you with massive dance experience and you're fit and gymming, I would never relate to you having any health challenges. So you were telling me in the live interview that you had a tumor removed. I had a skull tumor removed. I've got a gat in my kop. All right, literally, I've got titanium going through the airport. I tell you, Monique, is not fun, eh? I have to go through a few times. But share your story with us about how you were diagnosed with a tumor. If you could just share that with the audience.
Yeah, I think, you know what, I've always been driven by high energy. Nothing's really changed. I mean, back in my youth, many years ago.
Back in your youth, many years ago, yeah.
I was actually teaching 60 gym classes a month and working full time. And I was really skinny. I wish I was still so skinny. Bring it back. But life changes. I've made some really bad decisions. I've lost.
Hey, welcome to the club. I've made some bad decisions in my life, but that's called pearls of pain, suffering, which relate to wisdom. Eh?
I've lost all my money twice.
Yep.
And
I can relate to that as well, because I also tell entrepreneurship, by the way, is bouncing back.
yes.
If you go and research entrepreneurship for the business audience, you know, it's not about falling. You're gonna fall. There's nothing glamorous about entrepreneurship, but it's how you get up, how you learn
back.
from that, and you bounce back.
The resilience.
So how did this health, you know, tell us about the health issue. How did it change your outlook on life? Tell us what happened.
I think because of all the stresses of the personal life, what happens is your body manifests stress in different ways.
Correct.
And this was one of those things. I never knew. I obviously had this tumor for a while, but you don't look at the back of your mouth by right at the back.
Correct.
So I didn't look. It just so happened that I went to the dentist, and it was the dentist that discovered it. And once I saw it, I mean, I couldn't stop looking at it.
So you telling me you basically had a tumor in the back of your
Right
at the back of your palate, am I right?
almost by your vocal cords,
Oh my gosh.
right? And so first of all, fear sets in, flight or fright. So adrenaline.
Almost like denial. Like in
Yeah.
my case, it's like, it can't be me. How can I have something like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you being ultra fit, I can't imagine it would have been like, even like, are you sure it's me? Are you sure the
Yes.
diagnosis? Okay, so what happened is that obviously you had to go for like a major operation. Tell us a little bit through that process, because this is about, you know, the dancing in life, not just physical dance, and how energy makes a hell of a difference to you. And I can see that to the physical side of you. You know, you're bubbly, you've got lovely physical energy, but what you're also sharing with us is your positive mindset and your drive to get through such a challenge. So they tell you you've got to have this massive operation. How did it go from there?
So again, very lucky to have studied neuroscience. I think if I was in my normal space, I probably would have freaked out, run for the hills, and accepted it, and might not even be in here today, because you are what you think. The power of the mind is the most incredible thing, and I think that's the lesson I learned. But in the process, I was told that they would have to remove this. I was told I would not be able to talk. I was told there would be a gaping hole at the back of the nose, and really, they were really worried. But I made a decision; it had to be done. So I get to the hospital, and
But let's bring that to business. Now, let me tell you what I love about you telling us this, is that my X factor at that moment was a massive sense of urgency. So when the neurosurgeon told me, I said, look, can we operate today? And he in a nice way, he kind of told me no, that I wasn't the only patient. He didn't say those exact words, but I got it. And then he said, the goeie nuus is, ons kan volgende week Vrydag opereer, which means the good news is we can operate next week Friday. And you know, the interesting thing is, had I procrastinated even the initial inspection, I also would not be here. So one of your X factors, as a compliment to you, is that it's what I call you not just a rah-rah and a blah-blah, because that's what most people do. They rah-rah, you can do it. Yeah, sure, until you get into this situation. The sense of urgency and your positive action and that can do is the reason why you and I have the opportunity to sit here and do this interview. Is that fair to say? Eh? You say you're an action person, eh?
Definitely.
Okay.
Action first,
I love that. I love
consequences later.
Yeah. Even though, you know something, Monique, seriously, even a wrong, big, massive, huge action is better than complacency. Because I've learned so much from my massive, huge, wrong actions versus reviewing something that I did in a mediocre way. It's very difficult to know what you did wrong if you went like, I kind of did it. Let's get back to extreme sports, down at the ocean. And, you know, this is my playground in the background, I'm trying to think about not playing, you know, in the background. Because we've got the ocean, we've got waves, we're in Bloberg. The wind normally blows you like crazy. Getting back to your recovery now. So you get diagnosed, you have the tumor taken out from the back of your palate. They tell you probably won't be able to speak. That must have been scary as hell. And how was your recovery? Because were you fit at the time? Were you physically fit?
I was super fit.
Do you think that helped with your recovery?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's not just about, and again, so we'll talk about fitness.
Yeah.
And you talk about mental fitness.
Okay. Great example, yes.
Okay, because your body can be fit, but if you're not mentally fit, you can't achieve anything. So it boils down to the way that you see your life. That's your energy. That's your X factor.
So your outlook on life is directly linked and proportional to how you're going to tackle things in life.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I mean, you know, bouncing back, you can be physically very strong, but if you mentally haven't got that tenacity and drive,
absolutely,
you're going to battle to bounce back. Yet I find you can find somebody that's not that fit, but because they're mentally in such a good space, they will also get through those challenges. But certainly when it comes to health challenges, just being strong before you go in the op, strong before you go in, makes a big difference on how you're going to recover.
And mentally strong as well.
All right, just some other questions. We are on time. Where does this take all of us? For the audience, is what is the give? What's the purpose of this? Why dance? Why are you so passionate about it? Have you seen any changes in your peers? I mean, so just give me an example of a high that you've recently shared.
So probably a high for me in terms of it's that legacy that you leave behind. So people will come to class, and I keep saying this in my talks that I do everywhere, is that you know my name but not my story.
Yeah.
And how people will come to you after class and say, Monique, because of this time I've spent with you, you let me forget my problems. People going through divorce, people going through challenges at the office, people going through problematic kids on drugs, people bringing their kids now so that there's a positive influence that they can spend their time.
And it's something you can
streets.
share. I mean, even with my child, I've got a 5-year-old and I'm 52 years young, right? And it's wonderful that I can even, I can dance with her, and it's something that we can share. I mean, and it's fun, and music as well.
And it's free.
And it's generally free, you're right. It's not an expensive hobby. It's not like some sports that you would want to do with your kids. They're gonna cost some money. Whereas dance, literally, you can download some tunes and you can have a lot of fun together, hey?
And it allows you to break free. If people can sing in the shower and you're not exactly a Beyonce.
That's the only time I sing, in the shower.
You don't have to go to gym to dance. You can dance in your front room.
You can dance here on the
bounce
beach.
in the car. You can dance. Everybody's got their own tune that is connected to them. Everybody's got their own story. And somehow, someone is always singing that story that just relates to your life.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's where music as well. The journey of music, all of us will hear a song and it'll bring back other bad times, all good times. And the trick is to have a song list for each morning that's going to fire you up and excite you to take on the challenges of life.
But the energy that it creates, I think at the end of the day, when you talk about energy, it's also about positive energy and negative energy. You want the positive energy because positive energy attracts more positive energy. Like minds attract like minds,
I mean, that makes sense, because if I think like sports as an example, if you love ocean sports like I do, then my friends generally, they love the same things I do. They have similar habits, similar patterns, and the conversation's very easy because you relate to each other. So
Yeah.
I would agree that the positive will attract the positive into your life. Monique, we're going to wrap up on time. I just want to say thank you very much. You are an inspirational person. What I love is that you talk it, but you also do it. Most people can talk it, but they can't follow it through with their action. And I hope that you're going to go from strength to strength and share your passion for dance and influence a lot of people on your journey. And yeah, sure, I agree with you. It is about leaving a legacy. Right, this is Craig Metrowich and Monique Ford, Unique Monique, for VideoCelebrityNews.com. Share the light, share the love, just share the good news.